So good evening, everyone. Welcome to another IAMT meeting online. It's so nice to be here, and let me introduce you to Kristen. Kristen is our new executive director who will lead the IAMT with great enthusiasm, and she comes up with fresh ideas, that will be infectious for us all. And Kristen has been a tomographer and instructor for many years. I even took lessons from Kristen in 2014. And Kristen organized this evening and invited Eleni, especially for us tomographers. So she will introduce her. So Kristen, it's all yours.
Thank you, Francine, and thank you everybody for getting on the call. We're also recording this, so thank you for everyone who's listening right now as well. Today, we welcome Eleni Anastos as our presenter. So buckle your seatbelts because she is a no-nonsense, get-to-the-point coach and trainer known for helping entrepreneurs and executives overcome money and mindset blocks so they can make the income they deserve and live the life they've always dreamed of. She is a certified money marketing and soul coach. She's a certified sacred money archetypes coach. She's a certified money breakthrough method coach, and she's a certified holistic life coach. So she has a lot of credentials behind her name. She's also been a client of mine, and I've imaged her several times. She understands the value of medical thermography as part of her plan for optimum health. Her accomplishments include bringing the largest contract ever into an investment fund while cultivating key government relationships. She creates and implements and assesses training programs for business owners to increase income, client engagement, improve morale, and because of her innovative approach, she speaks at regional, state, and national conferences. And she understands, and this is important for all of us, that external results only come from internal change, and draws upon her backgrounds in business and psychology to bring tailored programs for her clients. And her no-nonsense attitude ensures that you will waste no time getting the results you want. She is a 7-figure growth coach, speaker, and trainer, and when not helping business leaders grow, she can be seen in her favorite Detroit Tigers t-shirt at the gym, taking on the stair climber in her purple accented sneakers. And hopefully you can do that again in the future, Eleni. I know you love doing that. So please welcome Eleni Anastos.
Yay. Thank you.
And the crowd goes wild.
Thank you so much. It's absolute honor to be here. And yes, I was introduced to thermography via Kristen a few years ago. So I have infinite respect for the work that you all do. Now more than ever, it's vital. You in the health and wellness space, I mean, you literally have the potential to save lives. And what's going to come out of this, I have no doubt, is tremendous growth and opportunity for all of you that are in thermography. And it's key to position yourself to be ready for that. Right now, I think more than ever, we have to have that kind of flex in our knees, if you will. We can't be so rigid in business or our personal life because we're experiencing something that's not happened before. And I know our brains work on pattern recognition, and our senses are constantly scanning the environment around us. But we've been thrust into a pattern that we've never seen. And with that can come an extreme amount of fear and doubt and worry. And it's so easy to cycle down into that. But I want you to know that today we're going to be discussing thinking strategies, mindset, solutions that are going to help you in business and in life to go forward. And I ask that you set an intention, make a vision for where we're going. And while I believe wholeheartedly that hope in and of itself is not a strategy, hope is still a necessary component of life. And we need it as an anchor so we can build that psychological structure that's going to allow us to move forward personally and professionally. So I ask that we make the conscious choice right now to not let all of the negative come in, because I know there's a lot of fear, doubt, and worry out there, but we can't create when we're in that fight, fight or freeze mode, we end up creating things that are in alignment with what we don't want. So this afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at, let's focus on what is possible. Right? I want to, and I also want to say that I'm happy to take questions. I do have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm happy to take questions throughout, and I will also stay on after the presentation is done for more discussion and questions, however best to serve you. So right now I need to share my screen so I can pull up the PowerPoint. Bear with me. There we go. Let me go into, you don't need to see everything on the side. Thank you for your patience. Well, it doesn't want to seem to move. It was freezing a little bit yesterday, so hopefully you can at least see the larger screen front and center, okay? Great, and we will keep moving with that. Right now, everyone, business, personal, is in the crisis response mode. You know, what's most urgent right now? And what do we need for the next 2 weeks just to survive? I mean, literally, toilet paper flew off the shelves. People could have sold toilet paper on the black market when you're stuck in that crisis mode. But then we are going to be moving into survival, and some of us already have. And we have to focus on how we're going to stay solvent, how we're going to stay stable financially, physically, and mentally for the next 6 months at least. Now, I know a lot of people that are fine financially. They have no worries there. But it's just as vital that they put the focus on mentally and physically keeping themselves sharp. Otherwise, time is going to go by, and before you know it, they're going to be cycling down. And I do believe we will recover, and that's when we're really going to get into pivoting our business and our personal life to gain the momentum that's going to lead us into growth, without question. And when we are in our growth mode, we're going to be thinking about how to sustain profitability, how to grow, and personally and professionally, because I see us all thriving, and you especially in your arena in thermography, exponentially, I can picture all of you thriving. That's why it's vital right now, even though we're all in the crisis and just starting to get into that survival mode, to still have a long-term vision and mission, without question. And part of what I want to share with you today, because the illusion of control has just been shattered. You know, people are saying, I can't do anything, I can't control this, what is going on? But I want to talk about universal laws today, because they are always true, they are always consistent, like the law of gravity, right? Gravity's in play today, tomorrow was yesterday. Regardless of what's going on in the world, and obviously this is a collective issue, there are certain things that are always true and consistent. So the few that I want to start talking about, the first one is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Everything is constantly moving from a non-form to a form and back again. It's the creative process. Nothing in our world, on the earth, on the physical plane, has been created that first was not thought of in someone's mind, in someone's imagination. You know, Edison and the light bulb. Everything has to start in the mind with the creative process. So that's why now, especially more than ever, it's vital to keep your thoughts aligned with what you do want to create, not what you don't want to create. Next is the law of action. And that's what we need to do. We have to decide to take action to actually manifest those things we want to bring here to Earth. We have to take action that's in alignment with what you want to create. Because I see a lot of people, they just keep moving. They're just taking action. They just want to keep going. But they're not taking the time to be clear with their vision. They're not taking the time to be clear with their goals. They're just moving for the sake of moving, because I believe they're in that flight state. I'm so scared, so I'm just going to flee. I'm just going to keep moving. And that's when the issue comes up that you probably end up creating what you don't want. So be very mindful of that. And the law of polarity, this one we're going to focus on the most. Everything in the universe was created as a whole. Absolutely everything. Nothing exists in halves. We have the alpha, the omega, the yin, the yang, top, bottom. You don't see half of a dog running down the street. Everything is created as a whole. Everything has its equal and its opposite, which means whenever we have a problem, we have a solution. They exist in the same space. You just might not be able to see that. James Dyson, for example, right now, the inventor of the bagless vacuum cleaner and so much more, literally just created a new ventilator in less than 10 days and is now having over 10,000 units created to be used in the hospitals in the UK. Now, he saw a problem and he knew, even though, and I heard him speaking, he knew that the solution existed, even though he couldn't physically, tangibly connect to it in the beginning. It's understanding the law of polarity, that everything does have its opposite. We have the problem, the solution must exist, and you go forward. But it's the belief in that and knowing that you can. One of my favorite quotes here from Raymond Hollowell: true desire represents that urge of life seeking a fuller expression, and it's kept alive by the continuous expectation of its fulfillment. How many of you know at one point or another, oh yes, I really, really want this to happen. I really want to create something. And then you hit a bump in the road, or there's an obstacle that comes your way and you stop. It's happened to all of us. It's human nature. But now, it more than ever, it's vital, so vital, to hang on to that desire, visualize it, picture it. James Dyson just gave us a classic example of doing that, creating a ventilator in 10 days. It's amazing, but he knew that it could be done. So I'm hearing a lot of background noise. I don't know if anyone else is, Kristen. So I want to make sure you're recording.
Here. Someone's typing. They're probably taking notes.
Oh,
but we can hear you going tick, 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 tick on your computer. So just mute yourself if you are typing.
Just want to make sure you have a clear recording to share. All right. And again, if there are any questions, I will be happy to, let me stop share real quick for a moment and see if any questions. I will rotate in and out of the presentation. So if you have something that's specific to what I am speaking about at that moment, don't hesitate to put that in, or you can save it for the end, because I will absolutely stay on to be here to be of service for you as we go forward. Let me, once again, all right. Now back to the law of polarity. I've chosen to focus on this one the most because I think it's pivotal how this exemplifies what's happening in our world. And we do have a collective situation here. This isn't just happening to any one individual. And it's not cliche to say we are all in this together, because we are. What is typical for many people, though, is to stay on the negative side. As you can see here, the law of polarity, again, created as a whole. We have the negative, we have the positive. When you are on the negative side, it's usually because you're stuck in fear or confusion. Confusion is often connected directly to fear. I had a client recently say, I don't know if I should go this way or should I go in that direction with my business. You know, lots of confusion. And the confusion is connected to the fear. What's important to realize, there is the other side. So for example, as you can see here, Kristen mentioned, yes, I love going to the gym. So I can't go to the gym. I can't go out and serve my clients in person. I know that you can relate to that. And some of you may be thinking, I cannot grow my business in isolation. Those are real thoughts, but it's not the total picture, because the other side has to exist. And what gets you to the other side is gratitude. Gratitude always moves you into the positive. And the law of polarity, problems and solutions exist in the same space. So no, I can't go to the gym, but I have an exercise mat. I can work out at home. I cannot go out and serve clients in person, but I can connect with them via phone and via Skype. I can't grow my business in isolation, no. But perhaps there's a way you can develop an online presence to serve your community. And once you train yourself to find the gratitude, then you are opening up your mind. You're actually training your mind to look for possibilities, and you become aware of what's out there. Gratitude is the answer in so many ways, and I don't mean that in any possible cliche way. But gratitude always does lead to growth. And even in this situation, in fact, especially in this situation, I ask that you literally get very specific on what you can be grateful for in this situation. Just take a small piece of it. It may be you are, frustrated and angry that you can't leave your home, or that you are not able, obviously for all of you, not able to do your imaging. You can't be face to face with your clients right now, and I understand that frustration. But what in this current situation, and just take one small part of the situation, write it down, and ask yourself, what can you be grateful for? What's the gift in this? Is it that you're able to expand your own knowledge, your own personal development? Is it that you are cultivating greater outreach via online? Is it that you get to spend more time with loved ones? Really want you to anchor into something that you can be grateful for, because I believe, especially for this group, that the opportunity that's going to come out of this for you is exponential. And Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, one of my favorite authors, says, opportunity often comes disguised in the form of misfortune or temporary defeat. And every adversity, every failure, every heartbreak carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Now, yes, what is happening with the coronavirus is horrific in so many ways. The amount of people that have become ill, the number of people that have died from it, it is horrific. But I know without question that something of equal or greater value is going to come out of this. Remember the law of polarity. It has to exist. Nothing is ever created in halves. Yes, our mind intellectually can see fractions, can see halves, but nothing is created in halves. Stop share for a minute, and anyone has a question or a comment, feel free to chime in. Let me take a sip of water here. All right. We will keep on keeping on. Move the PowerPoint. Here we go. I created this visual flowchart, if you will, to really emphasize the connection and the importance of how everything builds upon another. And as you can see, we are always starting with gratitude. So right at the bottom, the hexagon shape, just find gratitude for where you're at right now. I'm grateful I have food and water. I'm grateful I have shelter. I mean, I'm literally speaking for myself. I'm grateful that I'm able to be of service remotely right now. I'm grateful for new connections. Just start right where you're at. And with gratitude comes new awareness. And that's when your mind is starting to seek alternatives. There's something else out there. You'll notice that decision is highlighted differently, because you can have all the awareness in the world. You can be presented with possibilities that are limitless. But if you don't decide to take action, remember the law of action, if you don't decide to take action that's in alignment with what you desire, there is no change, and there's no reason for adaptation. And without that, there will be no growth. Because we all think, we all have vibrational levels and frequency levels. You know, we all have frequency of thought. We all have frequency of attitudes and behaviors. And gratitude is an upward frequency. Gratitude keeps you moving up. And when you move up in frequency, you're staying in alignment with your goal. That's vital right now. Staying in alignment with your goal. As you can see on the bottom right, where I have fear in the arrow down. Fear is a downward frequency. Gratitude keeps you aligned with your goal. And when you keep expressing gratitude, then you become aware and you decide, all right, now that I know that this is a possibility, I'm going to make a change and I'm going to adapt and I'm going to grow. Even if something doesn't work out, still decide to make the change, because honestly, nothing matters if you make no decision. Again, you can be given all the wonderful information in the world, but if you don't decide to try something, to take action, nothing for you changes. And if it doesn't work out the way you had anticipated, you adapt, you pivot. But it still is going to lead to growth. Gratitude is always going to lead to growth. Keep the upward frequency, and then you end up hitting your goal. But think about the outcome that you want to create. Because when we go into fear, and again, confusion is often connected to fear, and it keeps you stuck. That fear is controlling your mind, that fight, flight, that freeze mode. I caution people to be conscious creators right now. Conscious creators. Honestly, don't think I can say that enough, because we're creating all the time. We're manifesting all the time. But you have to ask yourself if it's in alignment with your goals. And when you keep track on the upward frequency with gratitude and awareness, and you decide to take action that's in alignment with what you want, then you are harmonizing yourself with your goal. And your goals can be anything. It can be small. It can be big. Let me show you an example here. Now, you have a goal to connect with and serve clients. Now, many people can say, well, that's my problem. I can't connect with and serve my clients right now. And I get that. I appreciate that. I ask that whatever problems you're dealing with, that you look at it as a goal. So when you look at it as a goal, you're putting yourself in a solution mode. When you just look at it as a problem, you end up staying on that left side of polarity, and you're literally blocking yourself from the solutions. So whatever your goal is, whatever you think the problem is, list it as a goal. Now, yes, on here, I have the why I can't on the left side, because I think it's important to get it out of your mind, get it out of your system, and literally write it down. So why you can't connect and serve with clients right now? Well, we're all self-isolating, and you can't image remotely. I understand that. But if it doesn't serve you to connect with people, to connect with clients, then, well, we're crossing it off. And literally, I suggest doing this chart on your own and writing the word next. Because if you write it down, you cross it off, you're saying, all right, that has not been, it's not an option that's going to move me towards my goal. When you write the word next, I mean literally write the word next, you are giving your mind the command to look for other options. So I cannot image remotely. I understand that. Then you cross it off, write the word next. Train your mind to look for other options. And then right now, how I can connect with and serve clients, whether it's email, phone calls, Zoom, Skype, whatever it is, keep going with how you can. And when you try something that's listed on the how I can side, see it through, seeing it through. The law of action, again, references that you have to stay in action to get your goal. So say you sent one email to check up on a client to see how they're doing during this time and you didn't get a response. And you cross that off your list. No, stay in action, see it through to the end. You keep trying, you keep connecting. Whatever it is that you come up with on that side. Because this you can use for anything. You could be, say, I need $5,000 to pay my bills right now, right? Because no more money is coming in. Don't say that as your problem. List that as your goal. My goal is to bring in $5,000 so I can pay my bills. But then get out of your system why you can't. Get it out of your system why you can't. Cross them off and write next. And then you focus on the how you can. I was just doing this with a client recently, and it was a money situation. He said, I need money for, X, Y, and Z. So we went through, got it out of his system of why he couldn't, crossed it off, next. And then his mind started thinking more. You're literally training yourself to look for a possibility. And under the how he could, he had everything from contacting a bank loan officer to selling items in his home that he no longer uses, that he hasn't even touched in years. And when we talked about seeing it through to the end, it doesn't mean a one-stop and we're done. For example, when he was talking to the bank loan officer, at first, the loan officer said they weren't able to provide him with that loan right now. And things are changing on that front every day, at least they are here in the States. What he did do, or what the loan officer did do, was refer him to an alternative source, a secondary funding source. So if he had just taken, and he asked the loan officer, do you have any other suggestions? Do you have any other thoughts? If he had just taken that no, he would have stopped. He would have put himself back on the left side of polarity and stayed in the negative. So whatever you come up with that's on your how you can, see it through. Please see it through. One of the biggest things that I also hear from people now is the loss of control. They feel like total loss of control. But I implore you to empower yourself and to reconnect with the control you have. You can control your thoughts. Let me stop share for a minute. You absolutely can control your thoughts. You absolutely can control how you are responding. And you still, even though we are at home, we are in uncharted territory, you can absolutely control your response. And I strongly suggest, let me pull this up for you. Not enough people, because we're not working in the traditional sense. We're not leaving our house, or we're not going to an office. That you still use a calendar. Put yourself back in the driver's seat where control is concerned. Use a calendar and calendar everything in, from your sleep to your exercise, to your mindfulness, meditation, meals, reading. You can see it all there. And outreach is huge. Personal and professional. We all need to stay connected. And I also hope, you see the second from last bullet about personal development. I also hope that you're taking this time now to do something that's just for you, just for you. You have that right. You deserve it. You need it. And then, really important, because I've been hearing this from clients, schedule in when you are available for others. Those of us that are innate nurturers, and you are all in the health and wellness space, you've dedicated your lives to helping people be healthy, live their best lives. It's easy to get caught up in just being there for them whenever they need it, often to the expense of yourself and putting yourself on the back burner. So I think it's vital to actually structure that in. If somebody says they need your help, they need you to be a sounding board. Obviously, if it's not an urgent crisis situation, then just literally say, great, I've got 4 o'clock on Monday open, or 2 o'clock on Thursday. Schedule that in, because you do have the right and you need to take care of yourself. And I ask that you be very mindful about what you let in. So much is going on in our world right now, and not all of it is factual. Now, I literally calendar in when I'm going to check in with the news to get the current or latest update on the current state of affairs. But what I won't let in is the fear mongering or people, just yesterday I had to ask somebody on social media, they were private messaging so many people on their list about the fear and doom and gloom. And I said, do not send me anything negative. Now, I don't have my head buried in the sand. I'm very much aware, and I'm taking, the necessary precautions. I'm self-isolating. I have infinite respect and regard for what's going on. But I also need to keep myself moving forward mentally. And I'll check into the news source I choose, and I'll get my facts every day. But don't let that negativity rent space in your head, because it's easy to spiral down. And again, that fear is a downward frequency, and you're not going to harmonize with what you truly want. Because we are going to get through this. Without question, we're going to get through this. It's the law. How and when we're going to get through this, I don't know. But what I do know, it's going to be time to pivot for everyone, for moving forward in business and in life. Now, number one on here, I've asked you to inventory your skill sets and accomplishments, because I know that your work is primarily done, face to face. You need that person next to you, or you have your technology available. And right now, understandably so, you cannot do that. But I still believe, especially in your health and wellness space, that you have tremendous opportunity. I believe without question that you all have skills that maybe you haven't even thought about that can still be of tremendous service now. And I think one of the best ways to move through our problems is helping someone else solve theirs. So take some time to take an inventory of your own skill sets and accomplishments, even beyond thermography, positions you've held, duties involved, any degrees, certifications, trainings, literally, because I have no doubt that you all would come up with a very lengthy list. And then it's about meeting your clients where they are right now, that crisis and survival mode. And think about how your unique skills can apply to their situation. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and have that conversation, because having that conversation, you may find out on that phone call that, because everyone is pivoting. For example, Ford Motor Company, one of the biggest automotive manufacturers in the world, is retooling their entire factory to build ventilators. So along with that, just the physical retooling, the employees have to be retooled. Their skills have to be reshaped and driven in a different direction. And people are learning new skill sets. People are in every arena being thrust into perhaps a different position in the already existing organization. And they need help with everything from how to have a conversation, how to communicate online, how to be effective amidst all this chaos. So maybe as you go through your amazing skill set inventory, you come up with something that, all right, I can't physically image that person, but here's what I can offer them. I know there's something in there that you can still offer to your clients to be of service and stay connected. Because it's vital to be future focused, still connect with the people in the organizations that you want to work with long term, but create in detail that vision you have for your life going forward. Because as we go through, let me switch back real quick, as we go through all of these stages, and we will, I want you to be ready when it's time to thrive, when we're at the top of the pyramid. But if you haven't been future focused at all, if you haven't taken the time, this is what I want to see in my business. This is how I want my thermography business to grow. This is how many people I want to be able to serve on a regular basis. Or these are the teachings I want to share with my community. You have to be crystal clear with your vision, because the universe operates in response to specificity. It doesn't respond to you. If you have a general, well, I just want to grow my business when this is all done, then you're just going to get a general response. So it's worth taking the time to create your vision that is crystal clear with who you want to help, how you want to help them. And again, going back to inventory your skill set. Again, now everyone is hyper concerned with their health. You folks that are that have chosen to be in this field believe in health and wellness. I know, and you can't convince me otherwise, that you have skills and abilities that can still be of service, that can still contribute, and you can still maintain connection with people, and even perhaps cultivate new connections and have clients that will be seeing you hopefully sooner than later for your amazing thermography work. But it's about being future focused and not being afraid to shine the light on what you can do. Think outside of the box. Do that skill inventory and then still create in detail the vision you want going forward. Now, I know I've been talking a lot, but I wanted to share a lot of information with you, and I am happy to stay on and just have a discussion or answer any questions. So let me stop share so I can see the chat.
They want your PowerPoint presentation.
I mean, they weren't taking pictures as we went along? That's not fine. Yes, well, you're recording this, right?
Yes.
So everyone will be able to see that. That's not a problem.
We're going to put the video on our Facebook, and then we're also going to have it right, Francine, in the back office of the website in the members only area of iamtonline.org. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. Anybody who wants to ask a question, please unmute yourself. I wanted to let you know a couple thoughts while people are getting their thoughts together, because I've been taking notes. I think to get it out of your system was really good. I mean, you can just flush out all the reasons why you can't do this and you can't do that. And, you know, and you can also factor in a little bit of sort of depression. You know what I mean? People are just kind of low and feeling like that lazy depression state. And getting all those why I can't do it out of your system helps bring you up, kind of up levels your attitude. I love that.
Yes.
I love your gratitude is an upward frequency. It brings you up. It makes you feel, you know, closer to God.
Yes.
You know what
100%.
I mean?
100%.
Yeah,
in fact, a dear friend of mine who has been recovering from and battling breast cancer, she literally said, I am so grateful that I went through my treatments and the worst part of it a year ago before coronavirus. So she was grateful. There's always, if you're still drawing breath, there is always something that you can be grateful for. And so if anybody has a question or wants to discuss anything, even on the personal side, please don't hesitate. I am here for you. Yes. Edith has said that, yes, the law of attraction. Thank you. Yes, gratitude. In fact, when I was sharing with a client recently about, again, the importance of gratitude and stressing that, and I said, I said, it's been a part of your life since you were a kid, but you didn't even realize it, that you have to express gratitude before you get more. He said, what do you mean? And I was recalling a conversation that he was reflecting on his childhood and his mom, and I'm sure many of us have heard, you know, you're not getting dessert until you clean your plate. You can't have more until you finish what's on your plate. That's like being grateful for what you have is the gateway to allowing more to come in. And it keeps you on the right side of polarity.
And you know, what you were talking about too, it's now time to prepare our long-term visions and our missions. Yes. That's powerful, because we have some time now. I know some of you are still imaging a little bit, and that's great. Others have pulled out of the space for a little while, but you know, do we have time for long-term vision and mission work? Absolutely. And I'm just going to point out here that that's what you do for a living, Eleni. You work with people personally to create those visions and missions. And so you could have made $2,000 today if you would have charged your usual amount for the people that are on board today. But instead, you're doing this complimentary. If anybody wants more information, please let us know your contact information so they can get with you and do maybe some more personal workshopping on that.
Yes, because now we have to hit pause in so many ways. And I'm looking at what's happening now as a giant global pause. But if we totally retract, like, you know, that turtle going back into its shell, you aren't going to be ready to capitalize on the amazing growth that's going to come out of this. So yes, we have to pause so many things in our life. You know, we can't be out physically, but don't put a pause on your vision and your mission. Get crystal clear on that so you are ready. You are keeping yourself out there, and get ready for the growth.
I see that Lisa unmuted herself. Lisa, do you have a question?
Oh, I did? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Oh, how do you like that?
I love it. Hi.
Hey, this is awesome, you guys. Thanks so much for the upliftment and for doing something so positive. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Eleni?
Eleni, yes.
Eleni, you're beautiful, and thank you for your spirit. It really helps us all. I was thinking, because the IAMT has all the guidelines and, of course, restrictions on the wording we could use, if they could come up with a piece that we could all send out, an email broadcast that talks about the importance of prevention and the value of thermography today, and why thermography can help protect them against things like this by seeing the immune system indicators and helping patients know what to focus on to strengthen their immune system so they don't fall prey to something like this. You guys have all the brain assets, if you will, to put something like that together for us all. That would be really sweet, especially if it came from our professional association, so here's why thermography is so amazing, something about that, or how it can protect your immune system.
Working on that, definitely. And I know that we're going to call upon our interpreting physicians, Dr. Carol Chandler, Francine Ryko, to help put together something that's concise, legal, and helpful to people, and also helps you show them the value of thermography. Because if we can see inflammation, we can see if somebody's immune system is layered up and in fighting shape. And if it's not, there's a lot of professionals in our IAMT, as well as the advice that our interpreting physicians give in the reports to help people do that. I have put on our IAMT Facebook site 2 interviews I've done, one with Dr. James Lemire, one of my hosting physicians from my business, and he gave us not only a whole, about a 45-minute interview on the immune system, but also his list of really great herbs and supplements that you can take. So consider going on our Facebook site, everybody, not only to connect with IAMT, but to connect with each other and start dialogues. Everybody get on that Facebook site. Let's have that be a vibrant place for us all to connect with each other.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Lisa, that's a great idea.
Thank you.
I love the idea too of what you said, Eleni, is that we are in this together. So Kristen, let's work on that writing for all the thermographers out there. I love that idea. And for tomorrow night, I have appointed a Facebook Live with a breast tissue treatment therapist here in the Netherlands. And we are gathering all our clients, everyone we know, to come on the call and just have a nice chat. And I think, though, that they will be a bit worried, because they're all worried. They're looking at the news the whole day. And like you say, Eleni, is that you are very keen on what you want to see and what you don't want to see. So I'm looking at one time a day at the news, and then it's done. So how do I keep the energy high tomorrow?
Well, great question, but setting the intention before you go in, which is why I asked all of you for us to set the intention for this, our time together, that yes, there's all that negativity coming in, but to ask them to set the intention with you that right now we're only going to be solution focused. Right now, we are only going to be focused on possibilities.
Okay.
It's because people bounce back and forth and the law of polarity to both sides.
Yeah.
It's easy to travel back and forth, but when we can stay on the positive, it means we're grateful. I'm so grateful we're connecting right now. I'm grateful you all have such tremendous knowledge. I mean, I think many of you are going to come up with even offshoots or expansions of your thermography business as a result of this. Because in the healing, the health and wellness space, your potential is limitless. So it's going to serve you to focus on being solution focused. And again, why I stressed when you think you have a problem or believe you have a problem, you do. I'm not minimizing that, but writing it as a goal. Because then you're training your mind to look for solutions and you shift to the right side of polarity. If you only say, I can't, and you stay in the problem mode, you literally are blocking yourself mentally from seeing any possible solutions.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It's good to start out that way tomorrow on the call. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Where are you going to put this information about the call, Francine?
It's on my Facebook. It's in a newsletter. It's in,
Send it to me, and I will also put it up on the IAMT Facebook site.
Yeah, it will be in Dutch.
It'll be in Dutch. Okay. Anybody out there speaking?
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Join in.
We don't see it as an obstacle.
No.
Right. No,
Hey, guys.
we can just kind of watch.
But how enthusiastic we are.
I've got
Hi,
one
it's
for you.
Lisa.
I want to take a second to acknowledge a comment I just saw from Lisa. And I love it that you said, of course, you can have webinars and figure out how to make house calls. Yes. And let's have fun with this as well. Because, and I'm not being cliche, I'm not trivializing this in any way, but we have to find a reason to still feel joy every day. I am, for example, I used to love going to a coffee shop. There were about a dozen of us that ended up gathering and became good friends over the years. Obviously, we're not doing that anymore. So I'm going to be hosting a virtual coffee gathering so we can connect like this via Zoom.
Yeah.
Well, that's great that you said that, because we are cooking up something just like that, Eleni. We are cooking up a Zoom happy hour. A Zoom happy hour. Watch for details on that. I like Wednesdays. If we can all be focused on Wednesday. If Wednesday's the day we think about getting together as the IAMT, then it's like kind of always in your head, oh, what's going on with the IAMT today? It's Wednesday. So I was thinking of having a Zoom happy hour next Wednesday in the afternoon. And we have some fun games to play in thermography. Thermography trivia, what's wrong with this picture, and some other fun games. Everybody bring a beverage. Mine would probably be a coconut milk shake made with, chicken broth or, bone broth or something like that. But everybody bring your drink, right? You'll have your drink in your hand, and bring a snack to share virtually. Like, what are you eating? Oh, I made homemade guacamole. Oh, great. And then we'll play some games. And I think it'd just be a great way to bond and have some fun and have some lightness. And so we're going to call this the Zoom Happy Hour. What do you guys think?
Oh, great. I love it. I'm in.
All right. I'm in too. I'm in too.
Hey, would you consider, hey, Kristen, would you consider maybe Thursdays for the Zoom happy hour?
I could. I mean, right now, I got all the time in the world.
I do too, but I've got some commitments, some regular commitments on Wednesday, and you know, rather than trying to identify the time that's available, if you guys would consider maybe doing it on Thursday, which is pretty much wide open.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll look at times for everybody's availability. I know I have something going on Thursday, but I could work around it. So we'll put it out there. Keep checking in with our Facebook, you guys. Like, comment, and share. Connect with each other. Give us your comments. The Facebook site is really a great place for us to connect. So please get on there. I've been putting some fun stuff up there, some inspirational stuff up there in all of our videos as well. And Eleni's will be up there. So please check in with our Facebook.
Yeah, nice. Well, thank you so much, Kristen. Thank you so much, Eleni.
Thank you, Francine.
Are there any other questions? I don't see any other questions, so.
Well, I have a quick question. How do you think we could make house calls? You know, like get some kind of pseudo hazmat suit that we could show up in.
I've seen the county health workers. The county health workers are doing it, yes, and they have the hazmat gear, if you will, without question. But you know, every situation is different, and safety first. So obviously, if you feel protected, it's an individual decision.
Yeah, I have patients who want me to come to their home, so, and I don't feel like I would contaminate them because I'm taking more precautions than anybody I know. Nothing that they talk about on the news, of course. I mean, simple baking soda and eating garlic and, you know, colloidal silver and taking iodine. I mean, these are such simple antiviral things that, you know, big pharma can't make any money on, you know, so nobody hears about it. Pretty sad.
Yeah, I think that would be everybody's individual choice to see if they wanted to go pay a house call. Again, we have to make sure that I think it was Howard that said we need to consider the protocols of, you know, the temperature of the room, the preparations for the client, things like that. I've done house calls. House calls. They work. And actually, I did like a group of like 5 or 6. It was almost like a Tupperware party.
Right. I've done that. Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that now, but I did it once, and actually I was like, oh, I could maybe do this more often, you know.
Well, I have a very lightweight portable air conditioner. It's maybe 40 pounds on wheels, and it works great in people's homes. You just vent it out the room or out the door or out the window or whatever. It works great.
Probably one thing that we can focus on if we can't literally go to our clients' homes and image them, or to a doctor's office and image them, is to just reach out with education.
Yeah.
And
that's making
sure, you know, and that's why we might put together some kind of video or something for you to share with your clients during this time, short and sweet, so they don't fall off watching it.
Yeah.
But something along those lines, saying, you know, you may have thought about coming and getting a thermography for your breasts, but have you ever thought of having an inflammation study? You know, just how much inflammation do you have in your body? And we know now that inflammation is not a good thing to have in your body if you need to be in fighting shape to fight some kind of pathogen. And so, you know, something along those lines, we have to work that out, obviously, with Physicians Insight, with our interpreting physicians. But I think that, you know, things like this may give birth. Like, we just did a great Zoom training over the weekend. And literally, many of you I see here have been in my classroom and I've trained you. I did a Zoom training, 100% Zoom, and it worked. So these kind of things give birth to innovation.
Yep. See how creative we all can be.
Yes. And please, and I would love to even hear when you're doing your skill set inventory, I have no doubt that you all can come up with something else in the health and wellness space to fill the gap until you are able to physically be able to do your thermography business as it should be done. And I would love to hear about it. I have no doubt that you have the creativity and the skill set. So don't turtle, don't shrink down into the shell. Time to rise.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being a part of our masterclass today with the amazing Eleni Anastos. We appreciate your knowledge, your insight, and your advice, and especially your inspiration. And getting together like this, and I can just feel all of you out there. All I see are black squares, but I can see your faces in my minds. I can feel your hearts. I know that you guys are so ready to launch when this is all over, and we're going to help give you some tools to relaunch as we come out of this phase of this virus and this area of space that we're in right now. And thank you so much for all being a part of it. Continue to connect with us. As we connect with each other, we are strong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you,
Thank
Eleni.
you, Kristen.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Eleni.
Thank
Thank
you.
Francine.
Be well.
Thank
be
you,
safe.
everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm ending the meeting now. Goodbye.
All right, bye.